Hello everybody, welcome back. Another week has passed and we are getting closer to the Alpha 3.0 release. The big test is going to be next week when the Evocat PTU is planned to begin. But until that happens, we can sit back, relax and enjoy all the amazing news, all the amazing and beautiful features that the developers are sharing with us and are showing us every week. Our main topic for today is going to be the Derelict Ships of Star Citizen, sites that will be waiting for us on the surface of the 3 moons around Crusader, Delamar and in space to explore them and uncover their mysteries. We are also going to discuss about some other topics that have to do with persistence in the persistent universe, shopping experience and the new landing system that will make our life a lot easier. But before we go ahead, let's take a quick look at the production schedule report. The production schedule report was updated last Friday like it always happens every week, and this time we have 0 changes on the dates for the Evocat PTU, the YD PTU and the official release of the Alpha 3.0 update. So like I have mentioned before, the Evocat PTU is planned to begin sometime next week from July 20th, which is next Thursday, until August 3rd. The White PTU is expected to begin from August 7th to August 18th, and the release of the Alpha 3.0 update is expected to happen sometime during Gamescom this year, from August 21st to August 25th. From what the developers are saying in their latest message, the team is making steady progress implementing the various remaining features, as we have learned already from the previous production schedule report last week. Most of the main features for the Alpha 3.0 are complete, and there are some certain tasks that remain to be completed by the CIG developers. One of these tasks, one of these features that require a lot more work is the render to texture, because of its complexity and how it will affect how important it will be for Star Citizen. One positive outcome from all the delays that we had until now is that the developers were able to add some reworks of ships and weapons in the game that weren't planned for the Alpha 3.0 update and were expected to happen sometime later in the future with another update 3.1 or 3.2. So along with the ships and weapons that are already planned for the 3.0 update, we are also going to get the updated Aurora and the rework for the Arclight pistol, the Gemini L86 pistol and the Bearing P4 AR rifle. The Derelict Ships of Star Citizen are going to be locations full of mystery and adventure that will be waiting for us in the persistent universe with the Alpha 3.0 update to first of all discover them, explore them and uncover their mysteries. The goal of these derelict sites is to add value and interest at a certain location, is to populate the moons in Delamar exactly like the outpost and create points of interest for us the players to explore. Like this, the developers are populating the worlds, are populating the moons of Star Citizen, so we will not have to traverse an empty moon, an empty planet, but instead a planetary surface full of locations and points of interest. To be totally honest, the derelict ships, the derelict sites will not make their first appearance in the game with the Alpha 3.0 update. The first time we had seen such a site was in last year's Gamescom presentation with that amazing and quite beautiful wreck of a starfare and the short exploration trip that Chris Roberts and developers back at that presentation had performed. As for in-game, as for Star Citizen right now, we already have a derelict site in-game that was added with the 2.6 update, and I'm talking about the 2 Starfarer wrecks that can be found in the asteroid belt of Yela, and that I would advise you to visit and explore if you haven't done it already, because I believe they add incredible depth to the game. What will change now with the Alpha 3.0 update and will make this system even better is the addition of derelict ships, of derelict sites on the surface of the 3 moons around Crusader and Delamar. The potential of these sites is immense and they can enrich the gameplay of Star Citizen even now with their first implementation, especially if you enjoy exploration and discovering sites, locations that nobody else has discovered before. These derelict sites could be inhabited in the future by a group of NPC or a group of other players, creating many opportunities for you in the game, in the Star Citizen world. The goal of inhabited derelict ships for the Alpha 3.0 is complete, but for now that means that certain derelict sites will look like somebody is living there or was living there, but they will not be populated, they will be empty. They will be populated though with another future update, and this will increase our opportunities for fun and emergent gameplay. Just imagine this, visiting a derelict site that is inhabited by a hostile faction that is trying to kill you or rob you, or a derelict site that is inhabited by a peace-loving community of NPC or other players that want to trade with you, or an even more nightmarish scenario where a derelict site, a derelict ship is infested with predators, creatures or critters like that scary critter that we had seen in the past, and they are just waiting for the right opportunity to devour you. The potential is immense. CHG and the developers can create many great scenarios for these sites, and they can definitely make our life in the Star Citizen universe a lot more eventful and enjoyable. For the Alpha 3.0 update, some of these sites, some of these derelict sites will be the destination of a mission. We will have to explore them, find a certain artifact, a black box for example, return it and earn some money, make some profit. I don't really know if CIG will populate these mission destinations with some hostile NPC, but it is logical to think about it, and it is something that might happen. I can't wait to find out in the game, to be honest. To create an even better atmosphere, to create an even better experience, these derelict sites will have to fit with the environment. They will have to harmoniously blend with the terrain. And that means that their looks will matter, and they will look different depending on what kind of terrain they can be found, on what kind of biome, what kind of moon they are located. So for example, a derelict vessel in the sand will have a totally different look than a derelict vessel in the ice or in a swamp. This is also creating some opportunities. Some of these derelict sites, these derelict vessels, could be somewhat buried or submerged, and this will create artificial, in a way, caves that we will be able to explore. So it will be quite amazing to be able to enter a submerged, partially submerged freelancer or constellation or caterpillar in a lake and explore around in such an environment. The plan for these sites is to be alive, not static, and for this, to achieve this, the developers have also added certain objects. There will be many archetypes to discover, many archetypes to admire out there in the persistent universe once we get this amazing Alpha 3.0 update. Each one of these derelict sites will have its own character, its own atmosphere, and will invite us to figure out what happened or what is happening, especially on the sites that will look inhabited. This is a great opportunity for CIG to create many stories. This is a great opportunity for us to try to discover if something went wrong and what was that. In the future, the devs could also add some logs, messages for us left behind in order to tell a story. What I really like about the derelict site is not only how beautiful and mysterious will make the surfaces of the Three Moons and Delamar look, but also the emergent gameplay they can provide for the players now with the Alpha 3.0 update, but in the future as well. Depending on the will of the developers to add certain value, certain extra value other than exploration value to these sites, players or group of players could be fighting in the future to control one or more of these derelict sites in order to benefit from that specific value. So this will create areas of conflict, areas of high interest that many players will try to capture for their organization or for their personal benefit. Overall, I really like the idea of derelict sites, of derelict ships. I think they add extra value and content to the game, they add depth to the Star Citizen gameplay, and of course they are making the worlds of Star Citizen, the moons and the planets that will be added later with future updates of Star Citizen even more beautiful and mysterious. One great little hint we got from the latest Around the Verse was that in the persistent universe with the Alpha 3.0 update, there will exist a massive derelict site that players will be able to discover and uncover its mysteries. They haven't revealed much about this massive site, and people are already thinking that it might be a Bengal carrier, a crashed Bengal carrier, or something else, a Javelin or an Idris. I really can't wait to start exploring around the 3 moons and Delamar with the Alpha 3.0 update and hopefully find that site. Now, on some other great news, the developers are working on the Persistent Data Manager, which will change the way data is stored, modified and accessed while playing the game. This will allow to distinguish between physical and legal ownership, something that is a core requirement for systems like criminality and of course missions and persistent spawning. It will also be really helpful for when you are parking your space bag inside another vessel. So when you are parking your Nox inside your Cutlass Black, it will remain there, and next time that you will spawn your vessel, you will spawn your Cutlass Black, your Nox will be waiting inside in the cargo hold. There were also some interesting info in the latest Around the Verse about cargo and shopping experience. One thing we have learned for sure now is that when a cargo vessel is destroyed, some of its cargo will survive the explosion and it will be left behind for other people, for the criminals that destroyed the cargo vessel, to grab it and make a profit out of it. What I really found very interesting in the latest Around the Verse regarding shopping was the new shop code that was integrated with the Solar System shopping service and will allow the shop inventories to populate dynamically. It will also allow items and commodities to be influenced by the purchases and sales of other players. This means that we will have a dynamic economy that will be affected by your actions as a trader, and it is amazing in my opinion. A new landing system will make its appearance with the Alpha 3.0 and it has been already introduced to many vessels. It is a better and smoother landing process, a bit more cushion landing experience, especially on uneven terrain. The landing gear now reacts naturally to the weight of the ship relative to the planet's gravity as you come in for landings, and will definitely make our life a lot easier. And we also had the opportunity to take a look at the Nox hovering above the surface of one of the 3 moons, and it was amazing. As for ship updates, this week we have talked already about the Aurora update, the updated Aurora model that will make it in the Alpha 3.0, but the Hurricane also entered production and it is now in the white box phase of the pipeline. And these are extremely great news because the Hurricane is again one of the most recent concept ships that we are seeing the developers are working hard to get in the game as fast as possible. So this is everything I want to share with you today. The Derelict Ships, the Derelict sites of Star Citizen are going to be amazing. We have already seen them in space, but I really can't wait to explore them on the surface of one of the 3 moons, Yela, Selene, Delamar, and Delamar as well. Are you going to start hunting for that massive Derelict site? Are you going to be the one to find it? We'd love to hear what you think about it. We'd love to hear your plans about that massive derelict site. I would love to be the first to discover it, but I don't think I'm going to start looking specifically for it. I'm going to enjoy every single moment on the surface of these amazing and very beautiful moons that CIG and the developers are creating for us to enjoy. I would also love to hear your opinion about next week and the Evocati PTU. Are you positive? You expect the Evocati PTU to begin as planned, or do you think we're gonna have another new delay? Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I am SquidofLove, and I will see you around the verse. Bye bye.